Hey guys, it's Gus, and again, apologies for the lack of videos recently. I've been playing actually quite a bit. It's just that I've been in Crown of Caldecon so much that I haven't really had an opportunity to do anything other that might be worthy of a video. But I think it's time for an update because a lot of stuff's going on right now. So if you didn't see the stream yesterday, the executive producer Brett Norton streamed for an hour and I'm I have good vibes after watching that video. I'm very pleased actually. He was asked many questions, and previously there would be a lot of maybes, ifs, uhums, but this time it was like stuff wasn't really sugar coated. If is the foundry coming back? No, it's not. Next question. It wasn't there was in that 1 hour there's more information given out than we'd seen previously, and it seems like Brett really has his finger on the pulse. He knows what the majority of the gameplay gamer base is wanting right now, and I couldn't help but think anything but positive thoughts after watching his stream. So there was a ton covered, and that could be a whole video. My biggest takeaway, though, was he was describing how he had been farming months to get a companion gear from the Sharendar bounties. Well, I know firsthand. To me, this is the biggest issue in the game because it's just not the Sharendar bounties. It's everything. It took me, I think, 11 months of farming Sharendar every day with 3 tunes before I finally got the one that I needed. I mean, that's really ridiculous, and you can't expect very few players to have that type of commitment to one item. I mean, it was exhausting. And it sucks for everybody that I know, too. Hey, Gus, will you help us? Hey, Gus, will you host a training? Whatever. I'll be like, sorry, guys. I am AFK farming bounties in Sharendar. I can't do that right now. I mean, those things, on our Discord, somebody mentioned a mercy meter, and I like that name. It's where the game keeps track of how many attempts you've had, and after a certain number of attempts, if RNG hasn't favored you, you're going to get it. And to me, my biggest item, this is this is people complain about the Band of Air third reagent dropping. I'm like, those are child's play. I've done it 400 times. Yep. How about let's try 4,000 times? And it's there's no reason I should be doing Bell 3 times a day on 3 different tunes every single day for over 2 years now, trying to get this Hound of the Forge. It is absurd. But I can't really complain because this Hound of the Forge is just a skin. It has no effect on anybody's gamer play. It's the very few completionists out there. That's the people being rubbed the wrong way. But this item, kind of stems to a bigger problem about how so much is RNG related. People spending 60 million on Gone boxes trying to get the boar worm mount. It's just ridiculous how some things have no oversight. They fixed it in Tom and Zerial and Crown of Celdagon, where you know it took me 40 Tom runs to get the weapons. Well, that was great because it didn't take 400 because after 40 runs, I got 40 hilts and I was able to purchase the weapons. I could have gotten lucky and got a weapon to drop earlier than 40 runs, but we knew 40 was the max. So there was an end in sight. There's no end in sight to this mount. This might be another 3 more years. That's how ridiculous it is. And the bounties and the shirts and the Band of Air reagents. I know people have quit the game after being so frustrated about something that shouldn't take hundreds of hours to get. And hopefully, there's a lot of stuff he covered. He covered events, he covered, um, fixing or adjusting bard healing. There was so much, and it was all pleasing to hear. But my biggest takeaway, the thing that I thought would be the most beneficial, was fixing RNG on sought after items. Uh, so in other news, there right now is the Harvester of Sorrows event. If you go to right here, okay, here it is. Harvester Nightmares. It's great. You just go to this guy right here, the ridiculously boring 5-minute quest. Get out, do that 14 days in a row, and then you come to this guy, and you will get the token of achievement. You get that on the 14th day, or maybe the 15th. It's a 3 week long event. So even if you miss a couple days, you can still get it. A lot of you are probably going to get the coal. I wouldn't recommend the bag of holding. They're 400k on PS4, while these are, slightly over a mil. I'm actually waiting to get this companion. So after this event, I'll need 2 more events. I got this one already. But this event's really good. Not only are you gonna get a Como, you're gonna get you're gonna get 7 of these after the 14th day. Every day afterwards gives one of these token of challenges, and you can get 7 of these. These are really good. Or if you want, you can get Prez Words. I wouldn't recommend it. And then you're gonna get all these every day. You're gonna get this item. Maybe the Glyph of Potencies. Oh, actually, not the Blood Ruby, but the Companion Upgrade tokens. Yes, Glyph of Potency, probably. They're all bound, but that's okay. Most of us can use it, so I would avoid those. So this event's too good. And in our alliance, it's very common to see room for 4 last boss Harvester. So it's a 1 minute event. Uh, you can't miss this. So I just made a video. It was 25 minutes long, and I cut it way down. And one of the events right now is there's a Wonders Bazaar sale. So if you're a VIP, you always get a 25% off. But right now there's an extra 15% off. So I bought 1,500 of these Astro Lock boxes. I don't recommend anybody else do it. The reason I'm doing it is for resale later. And the first time they came with the Astro Lock box, it was insane. I think I made about 350 million off of it, which is people like you're rich. No, I spent it all, every one of them on diamond shards, trying to get that one companion gear. That's how ridiculous that was. So I got them. If I don't sell them, oh well, I still got them. People complain about the mount drops, blah blah blah. These are all about the trade bars. Everything else is gravy. This does have a number of items in there that are still decent and sell for a lot. And there is the Misty Step boots, and I got I'll go through and show you in my inventory. 4.4 mil. They were just 3 mil, but I bought a bunch of them, and then hoping that they go up for later. If they don't, then I'll lose, and that's why it's gambling. And I bought a bunch of these owlbear cubs as well. There are people who prefer augments. Um, you know, I've voiced my opinion on that. I still don't know who's right or wrong. Uh, but they're all viable. So I bought a bunch of these owlbears for 700k or less. Hopefully those go up. And then I bought a bunch of these. The most I paid, I think, for the boots was 3.3 mil. So I spent like about 200 mil. But I had to delete. The video was just too long. And I bought these 500. And then I got another stack somewhere in here. Yeah, right here. Uh, these Astro Lock boxes are really good. And if you can get one of those drops inside, I mean, but they're not really good for opening for a prop. They're good to save money. Those trade bars are just too good. And then tomorrow we got another event, right? We got the 2-time event tomorrow. And wait, oh, right here. So this is a big money maker. This is how people make money. Go to Dread Ring and farm the 3 fortresses in there for 2-time and Chainstone Grade 5s. I don't do that anymore. I buy stuff that has packs and buy them cheap throughout the month and then sell them during the events when they go up. This says 82. I think I have about 200 or 300 of them. People are always listing these for 20k. I don't know why, but they have a really good chance of dropping 3 of them. So if you get 1 out of 3 packs, you're breaking even. Anything more than that's gravy. And I don't know if I'm going to open them this time, or if I'm just going to sell them, because they'll go up to like 50, 60k during the event. So I'll probably just sell them this time, because the auction house is exhausting. It's its own game, and with Crown of Caldecon going on right now, I'm really enjoying it, and because it's not the completion, it's helping other people get through. And while we're on talking about Crown of Caldecon, here's the deal, guys. This dungeon's no joke. There's been people posting videos doing it in 6 minutes, 5 minutes, totally marginalizing it, making it look easy. But what they're not showing is the 10s or 20s or all their attempts before where they were failed runs. This trial is very challenging, much more challenging than I think what most people are expecting. And it's not challenging in the sense that it has, big mitigations like we saw in Zero and Tom. It's challenging because it's so much RNG based. You don't know generally where the red circles are going to pop up. The tank has to have such good positioning and turning the dragon around so he's not facing anywhere where the DPS are going, like the phylactery or the supports. Because when you're attacking the support, and all of a sudden from behind you get hit with the forced breath, and you're off the platform, like ah! And the tanks are getting really good and learning how to face the um the the dragon away, so that's not happening. This trial is very hard, and there's a lot. People are like, why don't I get invited? Um, well, if you haven't hosted this trial yet, this is the most pain in the butt trial I think they've ever put out to host. It's very demanding, and carries are still, even with the best team, carries are still very challenging. And the thing about carries, well, I wouldn't necessarily say carries in a bad way, but if you've never been in there and you're trying to get a complete from a group, and then it's probably a carry, uh, is that one person can wipe the whole group quite easily, often, and it happens. And so, a lot of the completion groups, a lot of people don't even want to run anymore. This trial is the loot tables are actually worse than Tom and Zero, and it takes longer to do. No, there's very little incentive for people to run this trial. The box at the open, this Zen Market has these keys. Watch this. This changed. I wish I had screenshots to show it. Legendary Dragon keys. They used to not say any chests they open. Now they have to say which ones they don't because there's ones they don't open anymore. They don't open Zero and they don't open Crown of Caldecon. So after you get your one key a day, unless you have alt farming keys, you're gonna do it once and you're done. And why put a group together for one run? So they might just wait a week and then on Monday run 7 runs. I don't know. But the loot tables are garbage. The drops are. The companion gears are pretty good. I'm using all three of them, but you don't even need to run the trial to get them. You can get them from just running the campaign. And because unless the loot tables are different than other trials, there's no unbindable rings we can sell. So it looks like the same as any other dungeon, except for the Valender currency to buy the weapons that I don't know yet. It's too early for me to say they're not worth it, but I don't think they're worth it just off my initial um, mediocre testing I've done. So we got a two-time event tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of people in Dread Ring. If you're guild short people, you want to recruit, that's a good place to go recruit because there will be a lot of people there farming. Or if you're wanting to trade and you need rank 5s, there's going to be a lot of people with rank 5 enchanting stones as well. Oh, hey, one thing about this trial is we need tanks. We have to have them. The tanks control the whole trial. So this goes on to previous thoughts. Tanks need us. We need tanks more than they need us. Tanks are a valued commodity. I have no problem helping guilty tanks out, build up so that they can help me because they can get DPS anywhere. Um, but they know they're in demand, and the ones that have trained in this trial and put up with all the bullshit they've done learning how to tank it, they're kind of picky on who they want to be in the run too, and I don't blame them. So thank you, tanks. You're underappreciated. So this is an unusual thing, but the Astro lockbox, the Zen is under 40 million backlog. Whoop whoop. Last week was 40.5, so maybe it just went down slightly because of the Astro lockbox. Maybe I think it's more. Well, hopefully it's not because there's less interest in the game. I'm hoping it's because there was a big splurge to get Zen for the cohort so people could level up their enchantments. But hopefully this trend continues and the backlog gets lower because the low backlog is great for the new players who join the game so that they can put in an order, get VIP. There's a lot of free to play players. So hopefully this trend continues. The auction house. There's a couple companions you want to keep an eye on. This, if they would have put this in the Astro lockbox, to me, they put two mediocre plus fixes in there. Because they've been swapping companions and mounts. And the Boots and Misty Step, they're great. They're very unique, but they're a skin. They don't help you in a trial. And the Owlbear, yeah, it's kind of sought after. Um, I mean, those were great additions to the lockbox, but they could have done more with the Astro lockbox if their intention was really to be a diamond sink. Because if they would have put the tutor in there, holy shit! These this companion, if you summon this companion and have it out, everybody in a 10-man group gets 5% combat advantage. What a great buff to the group. Groups love to invite players with tutors because this tutor is so darn good. Almost done, baby girl. So if you can find one for cheap, you might want to get it. If you have one, let hosters know you have it because that might help you get invited if you're having troubles getting invited. But the best way to get invited is to get your name out there, and the best way to get your name out there is to host. So if you host, it gives you a lot of street cred. So you keep your eye on the tutor. You also want to keep your eye on the paranoid delusion. Holy shit! I am 99%, well, not 99, I'm almost certain that these do not drop in Juma Bag. The only way to get them is an extremely stupidly rare drop in a dungeon chest. I've seen somebody get it from um, Vault of Stars, and I've seen somebody get it from the skirmish, the Dread Ring skirmish, Dread Legion. I don't know. I, I don't use the paranoid delusion. I have one. I'm not convinced for an HR that it's better than the pseudo dragon, but sure, it's pretty cool. It's damn cool. Imagine if this and the tutor were put in the Astro lockbox. How big the Zax exchange would be? It wouldn't be 39.5. It'd be like 32.5 because every these would be big chase items. So you want to keep an eye on that. And then the other ones are Regis. It's holding its value. It's great. Okay, I'm selling one. This is not a shameless plug. And then I think I got another one of these too. Uh, you wanna Dritz is very good. Oh, good. I had one in there, but it's sold, so it doesn't look like I'm trying to get people to buy it. The companion halls are very good. Uh, they're underrated, but they're limited supply, so the price is high. They were Zen only. You couldn't farm them in the game. Well, directly farm them in the game. Then you so and then also besides the tutor, every trial group loves it when they have a spine devil. And look at that, 2.8. It's not a bad price at all. Would not hesitate trying to get one of those. Um, I think the Mystagogue has finally calmed down. Where is it? 1.2 million. 1.2 million. Yeah, this is a pretty good AoE companion. I still think it's overpriced, but it's better than it was when it was like 8 million, right? And then another companion you want to keep an eye on is so on PS4. I don't think all the platforms are doing it. PS4 might be the only one, but the majority of all the trials I've been in, everybody or almost every single person is using a striker companion. And what's the thing about a striker companion is what makes it viable and without totally crushing your build is if everybody's using a tamed Velociraptor. It's very possible to build one without a tamed Velociraptor, but generally they are. And look up, that's relatively cheap. So, I mean, it gives you 18.75% of a single offensive stat. It's so good, but everybody's got to use it. Kind of like MC weapons, where you would prefer everybody using them if anybody's using them. Well, especially as a DPS. Um, So keep an eye on those are specific companions you want to watch in the auction house. And I think the swarms in the I'm checking for my own personal thing. Oh yeah, whoa, those are going up big time. Yeah, I think those drop from. I might be wrong. I think those are in the Astrolock box. That's another good item. So they recently added the Mirage weapons to be you can put them in an unbind state with unbind tokens. I am actually surprised that they're this slow. These are much, much harder to get than the Tom weapons. much more of a grind. And God, these are. I've had to grind for these twice, and look that's really good. 1.2 million for an HR weapon. I think these are still. If you want to run with the Mirage weapons, I haven't ran with them in quite some time. But if you want those, the grind to get a million Astro Diamond is much less than the grind to actually get the weapons yourself. So I wouldn't be surprised if these actually go up in cost, as because the unbind tokens came out, everybody unbinded theirs. But I don't know how many people are grinding more to unbind, because it is quite a long grind to get those. So loadouts are all buggy. Yeah, I got it. When you switch your loadout, it drops companions and stuff. I don't mess with loadouts anymore. I just manually change everything, just because I've had so many problems with it in the past. So I have not. I'm immune to that bug. Hopefully they fix it soon. To me personally, as my own player view, it's like the smallest of the problems, because it's what we can work around it easily. Oh, so check it out. One of the videos I was gonna make, they nerfed. The fun police came and they nerfed. If you want to, I deleted a tune and I made it up to level 11, and I still can't get in Tom with it, or Crown of Caldecon, or Zero. And the belief is you have to be level 20 to get in a trial now. Why would why would they do that? Who was complaining about level fives going into Tom? I only know one person who did it. So it actually seems like a direct attack on one specific player. Uh, which obviously probably isn't actually, maybe it is. But yeah, the fun police came. You cannot go into a trial until you're level 20 anymore. Which really stinks, because I can make a level 1 tune that's, I think, 60k item level. I don't know why they won't let me play with that in a trial. It's kind of a shame. Almost done, baby girl. Oh, okay, we're gonna make it big, baby girl. Sorry, technical issues. Yeah, so if you were planning on doing it, I didn't read that in the patch notes where they said, hey, you know, tunes are not allowed to get into trials anymore unless they're level 20. What? Because of all the people doing it, all the people complaining about it, I don't know why they would put that much effort when they could put it into to nerfing something fun. I don't know. So I think on the one of Brett's things he mentioned was inventory. Inventory is a ridiculous nightmare, and a lot of new players really aren't experiencing yet, but the vets are. And this has been an ongoing issue for years, because the amount of inventory we have in our personal bank has been the same. Oh, I got this row. Those are has not changed in years, but every single month or 2 months, tons of items get added to the game. So you have to delete items. It is impossible to hold all the items in the game. You literally have to delete stuff. And being a collection person, I've gotten every item basically, and I've had to delete almost every single one of them, because look at just artifacts alone take up over half my inventory. It's absurd that we we don't have any space. This is the game has not grown with the items they've given us, and we've had to make a lot of gambles of which items to delete and which not. And most of the time, when I had to delete the Mirage weapons and had to get them again, well, I didn't have to, but I wanted them again because they were really good before they nerfed it the third time, anyways. Um, yeah, so hopefully that does get fixed. So on a last note, because this is actually really positive right now in the game, I will say the new Dragonbone Vale. Sorry, I'm backtracking one. Is beautiful. It's big. To me, it's empty. It is an empty. This is an empty mod. We got a new trial that's almost dead on arrival, and we have a new zone that's so big, but it's really empty. I mean, there's you get level 5, you get all this stuff. You rank up stuff to level 5, and you get transmutes, useless, worthless transmutes. I've been farming. Let's see. I think I got. Hold on. Let me go through this. Oh, I should have probably waited till 2 time Juma, except I'm not doing Juma. I farmed a whole bunch of the new major heroic. Well, before I open these, let me put just in case I'll ever need. Oh yeah, for keys, right? So let me put on the witch, because I don't want to waste it. So I got a bunch of these, and I need currency. And look, I'm just gonna get these. People are all excited about mythic items being dropped. They're not, and they're dropping these dumb rings. I guess one of them is okay for healers. I don't think it's best in slot for healers. I think Band of Air is best in slot for healers, but most healers would probably be laughing at my face for saying that. Uh, yeah, I mean, look at I got a whole bunch of these, and it's all garbage for rings. I don't need any of the reputation, right? Because when you hit level 5, it doesn't matter. There's really no reason to hit level 5 except if you need collection points. Maybe they'll add something later, but for right now, this whole zone, you know, you can farm for a few gears, reagents to get the gears from the Dragonsight crystals, but very few people are using those gears. If they are, they're placeholders until they get better gears. I just, once they did Barovia, very little things can keep up with that. Barovia had so much going on at once. They had that mysterious merchant that was all over the place. They had the hunts in there with best in slot items. They had nighttime, daytime. They had multiple weapons that required both the dungeon and the zone. Um, there's so much I'm probably missing about that zone. It was just such a good zone, and now, you know, 4 days into the mod, it took less than 2 weeks to hit level 5. I'm done. I have no reason to go back there except to get these vouchers for keys. But I got enough vouchers, I think, right now to buy probably keys for a couple months. So I have no reason to go back. I think it's that one. Let me see how many keys I have. Uh, so I have 30. I can buy 36 keys and then I'll have to go back there. That, yeah, it's the zone to me is empty. It's this big, beautiful, huge zone. It's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. But there's just no reason to be in there, and it's a shame. It almost feels like an empty mod, like the last mod where it wasn't actually an expansion, but they removed content from the game. Big letdown with that Crown of Caldecon. Not the challenge necessarily, but the rewards for completing it. Okay, last note. So last May, they came out with the Golden Companions. And I've talked about this before, but I'm seeing it surface again. They came out with the Mythic Companions, right? The Golden Cat, the Golden Goat, whatever. And they built trust by the community where they said, hey, we actually sold these in the Zen market for the price higher than we advertised. No need to submit a ticket. We're going to refund the difference to every player. Holy shit, this is a trustworthy company. I can make sound investments in them and not worry about it. And guess what they do a few months later with the knock boxes? They advertise them at 525. They sell them in the Zen market for 700. We buy them at 525, thinking they're going to honor their word. And guess what they do? They shit on everybody. And this wasn't a few players. This was a huge amount of players. There's no everybody who probably people never spent money on the game had spent money on that. Bam, short-term money grab, right, by just totally hosing over the players, lying to them. And it was pointless. The help desk ticket was like, no, there were 700 in. It's like, that's not what you advertised. And I'm like, no, the advertisement says 700. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does now because you edited it without telling anybody. Here's the screenshots before you edited it at 525. And they're like, oh, yeah, that was an accident. Well, it wasn't an accident because I paid for them thinking I was going to pay 525. And I thought you'd honor your word like the president you said with previously. Well, I see them grooming us again, like those teachers. Sorry, all teachers. That's where you see the word grooming in the news. But forget I said that. But they're grooming us. They're building trust again. Like the lunar currency, where the couple people who bought a couple lunar packs for 100 Zen, they refunded them, right? To me, I think they're just setting they're setting the bait and waiting for the big next cash grab, luring people into complacency by having a false sense of trust, and they're gonna do it again. I do not trust them. If I were you, I would recommend not spending a single penny in this game until they do something to build trust with this community at all. Unless you are absolutely okay with whatever you bought being gone tomorrow, literally gone, or them removing your account for something you have no control over. I do not trust them. I don't think anybody has a reason to trust them. I have 38 trouble tickets where I lost resources and not a single one has been resolved. Most of them were their fault, not mine. Um, yeah, I don't trust them. I don't recommend anybody does. I have a warm and fuzzy after hearing Brett Norton. Very good. It seemed very genuine to me. Um, Regardless, though, I don't trust this company one bit. It's the only game I play, and I'm gonna play regardless if I trust them or not. But I don't recommend anybody putting any money in this game until they do the right thing. Those Zen packs that they sold for 700 in the Zen market, they said they were 525. We had assumed that the Zen market price was wrong because that was the precedent they set a few months earlier, and then they reneged on it like a scam artist does. The there was this scammer. He's been blocked so many times, and he's changed his PSN so many times. And his latest thing was he'll send you an email with like a somewhat valuable item like a brilliant diamond and say, "Hey, here's a brilliant diamond. Can you loan me this item and I'll mail it back to you?" It works. What he's doing is he's giving building a little trust, right, by giving you a free item and then gonna just jerk the rug out from right underneath you. Very similar to how this company has behaved over the last year. I don't trust them for a second. I don't think you should until they take steps to fix what they've done to us. Hey, I'll see you all soon. We're trying to do something big. We got a group together. We're gonna try to do something special in Crown of Caldecon this weekend. Don't know if it'll work or not, but if it doesn't, obviously I won't be posting a video. See you all around. Stay classy, Neverwinter.